Our esteemed keynote speakers, Ms. Eva Roth, Dr. Prem Mengwar, members of the SZABIST board, respected panelists and guests, Madam Chancellor SZABIST University, Madam Azra Fazal Pechuho, Madam President Shehnaz Wazir Ali, VP Academic Professor Dr. Altaf Mukati, VP Finance Madam Nasreen Haq, VP Admin Mr. Imtiaz Ali Qazi, Head of Campuses Hyderabad, Islamabad, Larkana and Gharo, respected guest faculty and staff, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning to all of you. I am Ikra Anwar Shah, Lecturer, Management Sciences Department, SZABIST University, and honored to be the Master of Ceremonies for this transformative event. I welcome you all to the SZABIST University International Conference 2024, with the theme, Disruption to Innovation, Empowered Change via Sustainability. Our world is in a constant state of flux, with disruptive forces reshaping industries, economies, and societies. Yet within these disruptions lie opportunities for innovation and progress. Today, we gather to explore how embracing disruption can catalyze innovation and lead us toward a more sustainable future. Let us embrace this day and with open minds and open hearts. Let us engage in dialogue, share our knowledge, and ignite the spark of innovation within each of us. Together, we can turn disruption into opportunity and innovation into a force for good. In order to commence this event, I would like to invite to stage Hafiz Abdullah Tariq Amin to recite verses from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah. Moving forward, I would request the audience to please rise for the playing of National Anthem of Pakistan. To formally welcome all of you, I request patron of the conference, Professor Dr. Altaf Mukati, Vice President Academic at SZABIST University for the welcome address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to all the esteemed participants at the SZABIST University International Conference 2024. It is with great pride that we convene this gathering, continuing our tradition of organizing impactful research conferences. I am honored to be the patron of this conference. Before I mention about today's proceedings, I must express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed Chancellor, Dr. Azra Fazal Pechuho, for gracing us with her kind presence. I am thankful to the President, Ms. Shanaz Wazir Ali, for her continued support. I am also profoundly grateful to the distinguished members of the Board of Governors and the two Vice Presidents. Furthermore, it brings me immense pleasure to acknowledge and express gratitude to both distinguished keynote speakers. Professor Eva Roth from the University of Southern Denmark and Professor Prem Megwar from the University of Virginia, USA. Their expertise and insights promise to enrich our conference proceedings and inspire intellectual discourse. I am extremely thankful to all the participants, particularly to the respected Vice Chancellors, Deans, and heads of the departments from various universities, and also to the Deans, head of campuses of our university. For those who do not know much about this university, please allow me to provide a brief introduction. SZABIST University is a private sector university founded in 1995, and since then, it has grown exponentially, diversifying our academic offerings and expanding our footprints across multiple campuses. Today, the university stands as a beacon of academic excellence, offering over 40 academic programs ranging from undergraduate to doctoral levels, spanning a wide array of disciplines including management sciences, computer science, artificial intelligence, social sciences, media sciences, biosciences, biotechnology, public health, education, law, and engineering. With campuses located in Karachi, Islamabad, Hyderabad, Ladkana, and Gharo, we have cultivated a vibrant learning environment that caters to the diverse needs of our students. Further, we are about to begin the construction of our new campus spread over 250 acres of land in the education city Malir, Karachi. This symbolizes our unwavering commitment to expansion and outreach. SZABIST University holds recognition from all regulatory bodies within the country, proudly maintaining the highest W category awarded by the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan. Our dedication to quality education is reflected in achieving above 90% in the quality index for the last several years by the regulatory body. With the student enrolled with us exceeding 16,000 across all campuses, we remain persistent in our mission to nurture future generations. As a leading university in the country, we understand the significance of research. We believe that without knowledge creation, the existence of any university is meaningless. We know that a university without research is like a body without a soul. Besides organizing the research conferences, we also organize symposiums, seminars, and guest lectures throughout the year. This we do to encourage our students towards research and innovation. Our campus remains open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. in the late evening, which shows our commitment to the higher education in the country. The theme of the conference has been carefully chosen to include contemporary areas of research. The first keynote speech will be given by Professor Eva Ruth. Her speech will focus on how global pressures of climate change and biodiversity degradation influence our lives on a global scale, and how we can reduce this influence locally. The second keynote speech will be given by Professor Prem Megwar. His speech is related to the modern trends in the field of entrepreneurship and strategic management, and how to create value for all stakeholders. For this two-day conference, we received hundreds of local and international papers for presentation. Our scrutiny committee has selected 85 papers after peer review and a transparent scrutiny process. These 85 papers shall be presented in 13 sessions today and tomorrow. Since this conference has been primarily organized by the Faculty of Management Sciences and the Faculty of Social Sciences, therefore, out of 13 sessions, 6 sessions have been exclusively allocated to the Management Sciences, comprising 45 papers, 4 sessions to the Social Sciences, comprising 24 research papers, 2 sessions to the Life Sciences, comprising 12 research papers, and 1 session to the Artificial Intelligence, comprising 4 research papers. Besides paper presentation in these 13 sessions, there will be 7 panel discussions on contemporary topics such as integrating SDGs into business. The other topic is the flip side of artificial intelligence. Yet another topic is building a resilient healthcare system in the face of climate change, and so on. Each panel will be participated by the leading experts from academia, corporate sectors, and industries. In support of this conference, we have already organized pre-conference workshops at the campus yesterday and the day before. I must congratulate the presenters whose papers have been selected. Thanks to all the presenters, experts, and panelists for their valuable contributions, and thanks to all sponsors as well. Last but not least, I must congratulate the conference chair, Professor Dr. Riaz Ahmed Sheikh, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, and the co-chair, Professor Dr. Mohammad Nishat, Dean Faculty of Management Sciences, for their valuable leadership and guidance. I'm also thankful to our head of campuses sitting here and online. Thanks to our deans and the members of organizing committee, particularly Dr. Sara Wali Kazi and Dr. Shumaila Kashif, for their day and night efforts to make this conference a successful event. I hope the audience at this two-day conference shall be greatly benefited. Thanks once again to everyone. Have a nice day.
I would like to invite the higher officials of SZABIST University to please take their seats on the stage. In order of seniority, Madam Chancellor, Dr. Azra Fazal Pechuho, Madam President, Shahnaz Wazir Ali, Patron of the conference and VP Academic, Professor Dr. Altaf Mukati, our respected keynote speakers, Ms. Eva Roth and Dr. Prem Mengbhar, our chairs of the conference, Dr. Mohammad Nishat and Dr. Riyaz Sheikh. Up next on our program is the inaugural speech by the Chancellor SZABIST, Dr. Azra Fazal Pechuho. Dr. Azra Fazal Pechuho is a medical doctor by profession, a parliamentarian with conviction, and a chancellor with a mission. Over the last 14 years, In her role as a Chancellor and co-chairperson board of governors of SZABIST, Dr. Azra Fazal Pechuho has guided the expansion of SZABIST University. Under her leadership, Faculty of Life Sciences, including Public Health and Biosciences, Mechatronic Engineering, and Education departments have been added. In addition to the further development of Islamabad, Larkana, and Hyderabad campuses, a new campus at Gharo has been added. She also supported the introduction of several new programs in computer science like artificial intelligence, in management science like project management, media sciences, placing emphasis on innovation, research, and technology fields that are relevant to the Pakistan's sustainable eco-economic, socio-economic development. In addition, Dr. Azra Fazal Pechuho is the Minister for Health and Population Welfare Systems for the Government of Sindh since 2013 and has significantly improved the health and population infrastructure to deliver quality services to the people of Sindh. I would like to invite on the rostrum Madam Chancellor Dr. Azra Fazal Pechuho.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I'd like to welcome all keynote speakers who come from abroad, and I'm very grateful to them for participating in this event that SZABIST is holding today. I know it's been a long journey for you all, so just bear with us during this conference. Thank you. Our esteemed keynote speakers are Ms. Eva Ruth, Dr. Prem Mengwar, members of SZABIST board, respected panelists and guests, President Shahnaz Wazir Ali, Vice Presidents Professor Dr. Altaf Mukhati, Ms. Nasreen Haq, Mr. Imtiaz Qazi, Head of Campuses of Hyderabad, Islamabad, Larkana, Gharo, respected guests, faculty and staff. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you all. Our founder, Shaheed Mohattarama Benazir Bhutto, once rightly said, "You can imprison a man, but not an idea. You can exile a man, but not an idea. You can kill a man, but not an idea." So ideas live on forever. An idea can lead to innovation and invention, leading to change and prosperity. SZABIST, now entering its 30th year in academia, has always strived for originality and relevance in the fields of education and research, organizing various seminars, symposiums, workshops, and research conferences over the years. I'm delighted to be a part of the second SZABIST International Conference, bringing together the joint efforts of the departments of Management Science, Social Science, Artificial Intelligence, Life Sciences, Education, and Languages. This is a multi-sectoral event to explore through research and discussion about contemporary global changes in their domains. The theme of disruption to innovation, empowered change via sustainability is highly relevant. In a world fraught with challenges, the journey from disruption to innovation stands as a testament to human adaptability and evolution. SZABIST has evolved as a full-fledged university with campuses in Karachi, Hyderabad, Gharo, Larkana, Islamabad, and Dubai. We have introduced new degree programs, including artificial intelligence, software engineering, public health, biogenetics. A quality category research journal has also been launched at our Karachi and Islamabad campuses. SZABIST University is actively organizing a number of new projects for the next year, in addition to utilizing the most recent cutting-edge technologies to vitalize education programs. We are investing in more state-of-the-art classrooms and facilities. All our campuses provide facilities in addition to utilizing most recent, all our campuses provide facilities in consideration to the suggestions and requirements as per Higher Education Commission and other accreditation bodies. To be at par with the changing world, SZABIST maintains alliances and memberships with reputable international organizations, quality assurance organizations, online journals, and information platforms, including Thomson Reuters. Additionally, SZABIST University has a very active Office of Research, Innovation and Commercialization, ORIC, to support research startups, incubation, innovation, and commercialization. This conference is focused on the theme of disruption to innovation, empower change via sustainability. What I gather from this theme is that human adaptation is demonstrated by the multiple and mega changes taking place through disorder to creativity. However, the two essential components that are driving this transition are artificial intelligence and sustainability. Disruption, innovation, sustainability, and artificial intelligence work independently to move industries and societies towards empowered transformation. Names like Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla rank amongst the first innovators, and Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk as leading the contemporary disruptors and innovators. The world has seen great evolution in a span of 3 decades due to their innovations and new technologies. Various apps like ChatGPT, Google AI, and Meta, and many more under development are bringing mass accessibility to knowledge at the touch of a button, inspiring people everywhere to learn and adapt. Empowered change is at the heart of our collective journey towards human progress. Recognizing our individual and collective interventions for effective and meaningful change. Empowerment means giving a voice to the marginalized, amplifying the concerns of the vulnerable, and championing the rights of future generations who will inherit the world we leave behind. The world is coming together for global solutions to climate change and reducing carbon footprints. Universities are investigating the crossroads of disruption, innovation, sustainability, and artificial intelligence. Let us meet the challenges with hope, tenacity, and a sense of global unity. Let's use human creativity, imagination, and technical innovation to create solutions that not only solve today's urgent problems, but also open the door to more fair, just, and sustainable future. I want to take a moment to express my sincere appreciation to each and every one of you for your passion, dedication to make a difference in our world. Your presence here today is a powerful reminder that positive change begins with each individual, and together we have the ability to shape a brighter future for all. As the Chancellor of SZABIST, I feel proud and pleased that the second SZABIST International Conference is being held in Karachi. I want to thank the conference chairs, Dean Professor Dr. Riaz Sheikh, and Dean Professor Dr. Mohammad Nishat, along with co-chairs Dr. Sara Wali Qazi, Mr. Jawad Khoso, Mr. Vijay Kumar, Dr. Zahida Abro, Conference Secretary Dr. Shumaila, team leads and co-leads, and everyone who has put in tremendous efforts for the success of this conference. I appreciate the leadership of the conference patron, Vice President Academics, Professor Dr. Altaf Makati, President Shehnaz Wazir Ali. I thank and congratulate everyone who played their part in the preparation for this mega conference. Once again, I welcome all the guests and participants. I wish you a productive and substantive deliberation, and I look forward to receiving the proceedings and recommendations of the conference. I would like to conclude with the words of Elon Musk. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. Thank you. Allah be your guide. Pakistan, Paindabad. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your enlightening words, madam. And now we shall proceed with the keynote speeches. Our first keynote speaker is Ms. Eva Roth. She is the Associate Professor, Faculty of Business and Social Sciences at the University of Southern Denmark Business School and Department of Business and Sustainability. Ms. Roth is an economist specializing in environmental and resource economics and management. She has over 40 years of research and teaching experience targeting interdisciplinary, empirical, and strategic development in resource allocation, public management, and development. Today, she will speak on the topic of Think Global, Act Local, its conceptual framework, and how do values guide our future. With warm welcome and applause, I invite to the stage Ms. Eva Roth.
Thank you very much for greeting me so kindly when I came. I will not talk about myself. I will talk about my country. We are 6 million people, which is nothing against your very big, nice country. And I am so impressed that you have actually been able to build up such a very, very grand university in, 30 years, which is an achievement beyond anything we have seen where I come from. Our oldest university is around 400 years. You probably know my country. Not personally maybe, but you know some of our companies. These 6 million people, we have one called Novo Nordic. It's the world's insulin and the world's slimming product, the Wegovy. It actually, this cluster, this biomedical cluster, actually accounts for 1% of our GDP. This is big. Second, you probably have bought Lego for your children. That's a Danish company. It's a family company. Third, you might have seen the blue star on the oceans, the Maersk ships, transport of containers, the one that actually more or less developed the container traffic. And what else can I take? Not much here, but Carlsberg, the beer. I come from a beer economy where you don't pay people with money, but with beer. So, traditionally. Let me see if I can get this to work. What I want to tell you about is from Think Global, Act Local. And that means we start by addressing the problems we have. And then we go to what can we do at home? What can we do close by? And how does research and high tech actually enter into everyday life? We have some economic models that we use, and I have taken some conceptual frameworks with me so that we can get a feel of how we see the world and how we can actually place disruption, innovation, how we can place sustainability as such into a bigger picture. I have taken some basics Denmark with me, and I have the circularity, of course, which everybody works on. And then it's not just a theoretical model. It ought to be everyday life. Then, of course, as a member of EU, we have loads of new initiatives and directives that try to actually draw us in the process of getting more sustainable societies. And then I brought a conceptual framework from IPBES, which is the it is the Biodiversity and Ecosystem Service Organization, which is the sister organization of IPPC. And that's about biodiversity for good reason. And then it's values. I mean, we have to discuss how we want our society tomorrow. Not just as a conglomerate of individual, ambitious striving for whatever it is. Because we have to do this in unison, and we have to do it over a long time. This I know you probably can't see. This is from work in late 23. And I will make this presentation available for you afterwards. You promised, Shumaila? Shumaila promised me, because there is a reference to the planetary boundaries. There is a whole bunch of people around the world that are working on how we are progressing as a world. And what they came out to is that where there is red, we are in problems. Where it's green, we are within safe boundaries. And as you can't see it, you will see that the biggest problem is actually the biodiversity. It's a biosphere. It's life itself that's dying. It's genetic material that we are losing. The climate change we all work on, but that is different because that belongs to the geosphere, and it's probably possible for us to return the trend. Everywhere we have novel entities that is entering our world, and we also, most of us, because of, have to look into how we use nitrogen and phosphorus in our production for farming and so on, because it creates acid seas, and it creates a lot of other problems tied to, for example, the climate change. I'm going to skip this. You can't see this. That's the problem. We actually have what we call environmental Kuznets curves. And I've taken this from Margita Narasimhavara Prasad from 24, just a new article, where we know that when we start our project of industrializing our nations, then we are actually counting on taking out resources and having a lot of pollution. And that means the level of environmental degradation is quite big. When we get to be these industrial economics, there is a turning point where people actually change their behavior. They might demand more clean air, water, surroundings, and start thinking about how we can abate the problems. It's very much, it's dependent on the resource endowment. We know from the climate change debate that the countries that don't have any coal, they don't mind that we are stopping using coal. But if it's a country with a lot of coal, we're not changing, even though it has climatic impact. But one thing is for sure, that without public management, the public good of a good environment is not possible without good public management. Because all public goods gets supplied in too little quantities and qualities. I'll refer to this, but I'll take the next, because this is what I was thinking about. See, how do we actually get people to start thinking about the environment, using resources to mitigate the impact we have already made? And it seems like the poor, they can't afford it, and the rich, the real rich, they really don't care. So this is very often so that this Kuznets curve only really works if there is established a big middle class, where you can actually put taxes on it and they will change their behavior, or you could tell them it would be good for all of us and they will behave. But getting people to behave, that's not an easy task, especially not in a big society. I've put in the Gini coefficients. It seems like we are in the opposites, Denmark and Pakistan. Ours have deteriorated a bit, gone a bit up, because of the COVID, where the big companies actually earned a lot, and we didn't have any increase in salaries. So, you know, it's like it is. What do you do in real life? What is important? And I will tell you about the clean drinking water everywhere in Denmark with the example of Gram. It's a small district. There are 5,000 people only. And we have in Denmark clean water everywhere. You can drink from any faucet you get to, everywhere. We use clean water, groundwater, which is only treated a little bit because it's, we kick out the oxygen, we use oxygen to kick out methane and hydrogen sulfide, and then we filter it to get the iron and manganese out of it. And then we have clean, safe drinking water from groundwater. It is not an easy task to keep this up. The management here is cooperative. It's made by the city in 1927, and it's still the same institution that is carrying the burden of getting this to work. We are cleaning the water locally, both mechanically, biological, and chemical. We remove phosphorus only. It's costly. I'll come back to the economics of this for the individual consumer. Then we established in the mid-60s for not more than 1,178 households, actually district heating. And the resource we're using for this district heating has changed over time. Today, we're using solar panels for these few households, because that's the cheapest. It's still expensive, though. We have solar panels to make hot water, which is stored in the middle up on top here. And this is some solar panels. Then we have some solar panels to make electricity to the pumps. And then we are very sorry, but we live in a country where the sun is not there all year. So we have to use gas in the very dark parts of the year. And we're doing what we can to phase out this gas because, yeah, I'm not going to say it, but it's Putin gas. So we're not very happy to actually use it. We're not supposed to. This you can't see, but you ought to see it. It is our grand waste company in Copenhagen. It's built so that it doesn't make any pollution. And on top of the building, there is a skiing resort in the middle of the city where you can ski and go trekking, or you can go climbing in the big building. It's huge. So if you come to Copenhagen, you should visit. So, what do we do about our garbage? You wouldn't believe it. Every household has all these bins. And we have to sort all our garbage in up to 10 different classifications, you know, glass, paper, metals, and so on and so forth. And if we have things that can't go there, we have to take our car and go to the big container place and put it in similar 20 different compartments. It is good that we are having this system because the garbage is sold and reused as far as we can, and the income pays for some of the garbage collection and presence. Yep. I'm sorry you can't see it, but I did actually go home and find out what my spouse actually earns. He's a retired GP. It's his income is fair. He pays only 1/3 in taxes because he's retired. If he had not been retired, he would have paid 10% more. That's what I do. So he has disposable income of around $44,000 a year, of which 0.5% is paid for water, 1.5% is paid for water purification, almost 8% of his income is used for district heating, and the garbage disposal is 1.25. That means over 10% of his income is going for these basics, which is a lot. And it's even more for the poor families, because everybody has to pay. Some of it, if you use less, you pay less. So you're always very careful how much water you use, because the water purification afterwards is very expensive. And you keep the heating down, so you sit in the winter and freeze instead, because it's too expensive to heat it up. And the garbage disposal, you are just as, do just the same. I'm sorry, but I had hoped I could show you the big circular economic flows from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. But that should actually be thought about all over, both in companies and in households. So, what is happening in the EU? Where are we? What is driving our change now? And we have the ESG regulation, which is a sustainable reporting regulation that's getting implemented. And we have what's called due diligence, which is the other part of it. The ESG, I mean, it's the big companies. The companies with over 40 million in net revenue or over 250 employees, they have to report. It's a non-financial reporting, and it is developed also in accounting firms. And it is all the environmental matters, the social responsibility, the respect for human rights, the anti-corruption measures, board diversity, and it also includes foreign companies with physical presence or if they're listed as EU subsidiaries. And this is giving the companies gray hair in their head, because they have to work in a completely different way in their reporting structure. And it's not set exactly how this is going to be done, so it's still under development. But we want it done to make sure that we don't have companies that greenwash. We are so afraid of greenwashing, because if the consumers are really doing what they should, they would look for sustainable goods with sustainable production from sustainable sources. And if they can't trust the information, then we are in dire problems. Let me see if I can get no, I got one too far. Due diligence is a little bit funny, because in Danish it's called rettidig omhu. And I think it actually refers to the shipping company of Maersk. The founder wrote in 1946, and they are still working from that bon mot, that no law should be experienced which may be avoided with due diligence. So if you think ahead, you don't make so many mistakes that cost the company money. But the core element in this duty is identifying, bringing to an end, preventing, mitigating, and accounting for negative and environmental impacts in companies' own production and their subsidiaries and their value chains. And this is where it influences those developing countries that source resources for production or for consumers in our part of the world. And this is going to give problems as well. Of course it is. It needs so much innovation, and it might actually disrupt some of the supply chains that we have today. And that's where we need to be as researchers, to actually develop systematically what is needed, then together with the companies, develop it further, and then make sure that it is given over to the private sector so that they can include it in their market behavior. But this is a corporation, and it needs both tech and social science, and it needs the innovation capacities. This is my last one. See, the values that lie behind is that if we continue with business as usual, that's the red one over there, it goes completely wrong, okay? So that doesn't work. If we think that our personal values can actually get us there, no, it doesn't. We'll have to choose whether or not we will accept a degrowth, which we might. We might have to because there is no resources left. But I don't think that's a very good idea. We might use some extra funds for nature protection, which will give us 4%, a national park there, a piece there, a piece there, won't make it either. So we have to trust that we can innovate our way and manage publicly our way to a green economy, which can protect our biodiversity and our climate. Or we will be in problem, or we will be very poor. I will jump that one. Nobody can read it anyway. And then I will say thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Eva Roth, for sharing your insightful knowledge with us. Our second keynote speaker is Dr. Prem Mengwar. He is affiliated with the Institute for Business and Society, Darden Graduate School of Business, University of Virginia, USA. Dr. Mengwar's area of expertise are organizational purpose, stakeholder theory, and crisis management. His first paper on creating shared value, published in the International Journal of Management Reviews, received Wiley's top cited and top downloaded of the year in 2021 to 2022. His paper, The Unsung Role of Non-Profit Organizations in Value Creation, won the Best PhD Student Paper Award at World Open Innovation Conference 2019. At Darden, he is working with Ed Freeman on application of stakeholder theory in underdeveloped countries. His research work is under review at Organizational Science, Academy of Management Journal, and Business in Society. Today, Dr. Mengwar will speak on the topic of how entrepreneurs and corporations revitalize Pakistan economy. Let's welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Prem Mengwar, to the stage.
So you can use either. If you find this is better, this gives you mobility, you can use that or this.
I think this one, they suggested me to use this one, so I can close it off. Sorry, this one is not working, so in the end I will go with the one that is here. Could you bring my slides? Okay, while they fix the slides, sorry, I need to move it, yeah, okay. It's fine now, good. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. I hope the papers under review would get published so you all would have a chance to read them. It's really a great pleasure and privilege to be here news that I wanted to share you. Let's move to the topic, actually. So the topic that I chose is that can entrepreneurs and corporations do something for Pakistan or not? Before we go into that, I want to tell you, is there any example where corporations saved somebody or saved an state? So let's start from there. Once if we have a story to tell, maybe we will be able to argue that yes, it could happen again. So I take you back in the history in 2015 BC. Nobody from us was born, I guess. Two empires, Rome and Carthage, were at war. Have you seen this picture, I guess? If you have watched movie Gladiators, you might have seen the fights going on. That was the symbol of Roman Empire. This is another one. It's called Carthage. I haven't been there, but I took it from internet, so believe me, it's a reliable picture. Those two empires were at war. And the story is this. They were in a struggle of survival. And the Roman journal, so they were losing on the southern Italy, and they were also fighting in Spain as well. So the journal from the Spain wrote to the Senate of Rome that we are out of resources, we need money. The response of Senate was, our treasury is empty like ours in Pakistan these days. There is a huge echo anyway. So the Senate made a desperate plea to people. Three corporations came forward. It's called societatas in Latin. And the condition was this. So if corporations provide resources for the services in Spain, they would be exempted from the military tax. And if anything happens to their cargoes in the sea for natural disasters, it will be covered by the state. So those were the conditions. Corporations would give the resources that Roman Empire need to fight the war in Spain. What happens next? I didn't want to tell you the story, so I just cut it from the book. It's a remarkable moment in the history of Roman Republic. The government, teetering on the edge of collapse, had been bailed out by the group of powerful Roman companies. And so I wrote for a time during one of the serious crises, the Republic was carried along by the private money. And I didn't write this. This is written in the history and the reference is there. So Roman Empire for, let's say, a couple of centuries was saved by the three corporations. You know, there are other stories, but I believe in this one. So why do you think, or why do I strongly believe that companies can make the difference and not other institutions? There is a reason. Because companies multiply resources. There is no other institution exists in the world that can multiply resources. We have another powerful institute, which is government, but what they do? They just do this. They collect tax and invest for the welfare of people or any other service. So they don't multiply the resources. They just collect resources and use the resources. Efficiently or non-efficiently, that's another debate. But we need somebody, we need an institute that can multiply resources because day by day population is growing and we need more resources. And the only way that could be done is the companies, corporations. I give you some example that how powerful business or companies are. World Economic built on the IMF data suggests that Pakistan's economy of 2023 was 1.6 trillion. Value of Apple is 2.59 trillion, much more than the Pakistan economy. Huh? Value of Danish company, we have a speaker from Danish, Novo Nordisk. It's a company that gives you the insulin. Huh? Is worth around 556 billion, so nearly half. But you know what? Population of Denmark is 6 million, and population of Karachi is more than 24 million. So see how powerful they are. Now I tell you another funny story to make it a little bit interesting for you. You know this guy, right? Many of you have seen it. I got surprised when I saw him at one of the biggest stores in the US. His products are there, very costly. Worth of this company is 6.10 billion. So I think it is safe to believe, make this argument, that if corporations progress, country progress. Okay, I think it's now very safe to make this argument, okay? So the question is, which type of entrepreneurs or corporations do we need that can bail us out or that can solve our problems? And the argument is this. We need corporations who believe in stakeholder theory or in a stakeholder approach. And I don't say it, but one of the very well-known entrepreneur scholars, those who are studying entrepreneur knows Venkat, he wrote that the biggest contribution of stakeholder theory in the field of entrepreneurship is redefining the purpose. That why do corporations exist? And corporations exist because they serve stakeholders. This theory deflects from purely economic perspective to serving the wider goals of the society. I would say that stakeholders include employees, suppliers, customers. Even if a corporation is a, let's say, blood-sucking machine, and entrepreneurs are mean who are looking for money, I don't think any corporations can survive without supporting these stakeholders. If you have a good product, but if you don't have customers, you cannot sell it. If you have a good product, but you don't have if you have a good idea, but if you don't have a supplier, you cannot make it. You know? So there is no way that a corporation or business exists without these stakeholders exactly. And so the purpose of business is very simple idea that it would serve these stakeholders. Now, in some cases like Pakistan or India or others, there is not a creation of value. I call it a transfer of value. So you take the value from one stakeholder and you give it to another stakeholder. So the corporations are not basically creating value, and that's the problem which entrepreneurship should solve. So what is the answer to the fundamental question that I posed you in the beginning? Well, can corporations revitalize? I say yes, if, and how do we find the if? If problem can be solved through the Schumpeter, the great, let the technology drive the markets. So the better, let companies fight on the basis of technology. The one who are better in technology, or I would say one who are better in serving the stakeholders, should survive, others will die certainly. Another would be that let this disruptive innovation, which is concept, is the theme of this corporation, do its job. That good firms should outperform the bad firms by the innovation, and let innovation happen. So now, how will the innovation happen? First of all, we need to teach entrepreneurs that their job is not to make money, but entrepreneurs' job is to solve social problems and make money. There is no way on the earth that you could go to an investor and say, look, I have this idea, I will make a lot of money. They will ask you how, and this how is solving problems. Entrepreneurs create opportunities from nowhere because they find an opportunity in problems. You cannot be an entrepreneur if you don't solve a problem. So we need to teach that. I think we need to start teaching also that entrepreneur is not a parasite that can find opportunities and flourish at the cost of the society. But we need to encourage students to search for problems and solutions for those problems through innovation. I want to talk about this last thing. There is an elite class myth, fear, which is even a big barrier than the innovation itself. That if, let's say, poor people get education, or if innovators get if innovation comes in, power will go away. But I think it has not happened in the history yet, that if there is an innovation has happened, or poor become into the middle class, kingdom died. I give you 3 examples. You have been to London, many of you, Buckingham Palace, right? Kingdom is still there. Did it go away? It has the same power that it had many years ago. Poverty has gone down, middle class has gone up, but their power didn't go away. So there is no way to believe that if poor become rich or poor become middle class, our power will go away. It has not happened yet. I give you another example. Royal Palace of Netherlands. It's the most inclusive economy in the world. But you go to Netherlands, Amsterdam, and you see their palace. They live like our ministers live, I would say even better than that. But poverty is not there, so there is, again, a possible way to think that if poor people gets middle class, there is no way that my kingdom will die, because those kingdom didn't die. They are still there. These are the buildings you can see. Another one is this from Rome, Vatican. People believed that if poor people become educated, they won't believe in religion, and religion will go away, but it didn't happen. Vatican is still alive. You go there, gold pelleted, everything is wonderful. So I don't believe that if entrepreneurs do the business, politicians will lose their job or power, or if we teach entrepreneurs very well, then we won't have a job. Those two situations has not happened yet, so it's safe to believe that it won't happen again as well. And we just need to promote entrepreneurship and education. So that's what I could cover in 15 minutes before organizers go angry. If you have any questions, I will be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Prem. Your session has been of immense value. We proceed to the segment of giving vote of thanks to our keynote speakers. I will invite Professor Dr. Mohammad Nishad, who is the chair of SZABIST University International Conference, the Dean of Faculty of Management Sciences, as well as the editor of JISR MSSE at SZABIST University. Dr. Nishad, you are requested to please approach the rostrum.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chancellor SZABIST, Madam Dr. Azra Fazal Pajeho, esteemed keynote speaker Ms. Eva Ruth and Dr. Prem Megwar, members of SZABIST University Board of Governors, President Madam Dr. Shahnaz Wazir Ali, Vice President Academics Dr. Makati, Vice President Madam Nasreen Haq and Mr. Imtiaz Qazi, distinguished panelists, respected guests, head of campuses, faculty, members, and staff. Assalamu alaikum, a very warm welcome for this conference. Our patron, Dr. Makati, explained a lot about the conference, so I will be brief on that. The only thing I have is some comments that I'm very positive that SZABIST University International Conference will provide diverse range of perspective, dialogues, presentations, and stimulating networking opportunities with academia, corporate, government, NGOs, and civil society stakeholders. I hope that all the enlightening discussion and connections made here have the potential to spark new ideas, collaborations, and will further the scholarship of disruption, innovation, change, and sustainability. I hope that momentum created through this conference carries along after you leave, and may it inspire you to be disruptor and innovative in your respective fields. I want to thank the effort of everyone here, our guests, valued sponsors, and driving force behind the conference, the organization committee, led by co-chair Dr. Sara Wali Qazi and secretary Dr. Shamaila Kashif, who have put in their all efforts. I want to once again express my sincere appreciation to each and every one of you for your time, effort, and participation. I look forward to continued exchange of ideas and collaboration that will undoubtedly arise from this conference. Thank you very much.
As we are approaching the end of our opening session, now I would like to invite Madam Chancellor Dr. Azra Fazal Pechuho, Madam President Shahnaz Wazir Ali, and conference patron Professor Dr. Mohammad Altaf Makati to please stand at the back of their seats to present mementos to our keynote speakers. Dr. Prem Mengwar, can you please come forward to receive your memento? Can we please have a group photo of the people standing in front of the stage?